That is a good question. Let me think. Probably when I'm bullying you, when I'm making fun of you with my sister.
From you,
Yeah,
it has to be patience. Darling, you have taught me a lot of patience.
that's humbling. That is humbling. Always call me overdramatic or like pathetic, immature, but you don't know what that's coming from.
We'll come back to that. Awaiting 10th board results. Hello, I'm Radhika Raja Gaikwad and I'm 46 years of age.
I'm Narayani Raja Gaikwad and I'm 16 years.
And we're going to ask each other a set of questions and I'm going to begin this round. Okay? So, Narayani, what's your happiest memory of us?
That is a good question. Let me think. Probably when I'm bullying you, when I'm making fun of you with my sister, where we made breakfast in bed for you for your birthday. And, there were just these funny encounters about, how we just came up to you and how scared you were and how you reacted, surprised, grateful. So I think that was the, happiest memory because we all were happy and it was full of laughter and jokes. I'm going to go with the same question. What's your happiest memory of us?
So many, it's hard to really pick one, Narayani. It's been such a joy having you as a child. And you know, I say that to you all the time. I think from the moment you were born, you just brought so much joy into all our lives. And there are just these flashes I have of you gurgling and laughing and drooling, of course. But I think there was just this vivaciousness and this huge energy which was so positive, which would completely envelope me. And I remember just you coming and kissing me and all your, wet kisses and just coming and hanging from my neck or, rubbing your fingers around my neck and just these incredible moments where I felt so complete and one with you. And I think most mothers and daughters have those moments, but it's very very special when I think of those moments. And of course, just the playing together, you with your dogs, and just watching you. It's not always a moment where I have had to be proactively involved, but just I think watching you. But I do remember these moments about even you when I would be breastfeeding you and you would be gurgling and trying to make conversation in the middle of it. It was just I think those were very very self-contained and happy moments. Yeah, I think that's one of them. Oh, my question next.
Oh,
What's one way you're like me and one way you're totally different?
I think everybody will agree I'm definitely like you. I like drama, I am dramatic, I like dancing, I like being the center of attention also. Different, I think I'm more insecure with myself. You're comfortable in your skin. Yeah, I'm more insecure than you. um, let's see. What's a quality in yourself that you think came from me?
Came from you?
Yeah,
It has to be patience. Darling, you have taught me a lot of patience.
that's humbling. That is humbling.
But also the ability to speak your mind and be fierce and fearless. I've seen you just hold your own. So although you are insecure in many ways, but it's a very physical insecurity you have about the way you look. Your mind is very very, you're very sure of what your thoughts are and you're able to convey your thoughts very clearly, and that I've always found very remarkable, and I admire that about you, that you hold your own, you don't get pushed around. I don't know whether I had that ability at your age.
Really?
Yeah, I don't, you're not a people pleaser, and I may have been at your age. I think at your age it did matter to me what people thought of me, and that's why I keep saying that to you, don't care about what people think of you. My turn.
Yeah.
Did I ask you this? What's the quality in yourself that you think came
I
from
asked you that.
Yeah, but I get to ask you that too.
You always catch me off guard. You always do. Okay. That it came from you. I don't think it's a quality. I think it's a personality altogether. Quality, I think, is just not sense of humor. You'd like to think so, but maybe somewhat, yeah. A little bit sense of humor. A little bit, just a little bit, and patience also. Yeah. I think with the making fun of me and jokes at me. I've really come to a point where, I'm patient with you and your jokes, and it's all right. No, I'm evolving too.
If you say so. Your question next?
Let's see. What's something you're really proud of yourself for right now?
I think it's my ability to be able to hold my own in terms of an opinion, a vision, a conversation. To be able to be sure and more determined and focused. To be able to communicate that in constructive ways. I think I'm proudest of the fact that I can work as a community leader and I can get so many different people of different walks of life and age groups together. I think at this point that's what I'm proudest of. What about you?
I don't know. I don't do all of that. What do I do?
But you don't have to do all of that. There are many different things you can be proud of. At your age, I was definitely not proud for this.
Pride, right? I don't really think there's something I'm proud of, but that, I'm now working towards playing a sport or, yeah, I'm working. I like playing tennis a lot, so I'm proud that, I'm taking interest to it and playing it every day. Like a good mother I am, I'm proud of how my kids turned out. Goofy Toffee, the dogs. I think I'm a really good mother.
Somehow I feel that should have been my answer too.
Yeah, I'm proud of my dogs. I brought them up really nicely. I'm proud that I am consistent with my sports and I'm working up my way towards fitness, which is really important to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay, my time, right? What scares you most about the future?
Quite a few things actually.
I think we know the answer to
Yeah.
that.
What do you think it is?
Me going away
Yeah.
to college.
That is a big one for me. But other than that, it's also your grandparents aging. It's not easy to see your parents age. So for me to see Mama, Baba, or Ai aging, also your father, we have an age difference.
Goofy.
Yeah, that's your concern. So what is it for you? The same question back to you.
About my old dog dying. It's always about the dog. He's 14 years old, so it's really scary. What else scares me? I don't know, moving into another house. I don't know, just having a fully memorable house full of childhood, and then you're just going to another place which is like completely different. So I'm a little scared about that.
But that's life, right? It's always transition.
Let's see.
My turn. What's been the hardest part of growing up for you?
Insecurities and fake friends, actually. You know that. Yeah. A lot of, what do you say, not really people pleaser, but like dressing a certain way for like standards. You know that. I mean, wearing specific types of clothes I'm not allowed to, and then, kind of getting judged for that. Or, kind of being close to a person for so many years and then just getting backstabbed. I feel that's quite hard. Yeah. I think just going through different friends with like all, having a different type of problem, just increasing my insecurity. Yeah, I think that's about it.
You realize this is the same for most kids your age, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, it's quite sad.
It is. It's hard. Teenage life is hard.
It is. It is. And also the hardest part of growing up is, like if you don't do good in a test and my report card is coming,
I know where that's coming from. You're just trying to pretend the board results, Naraini.
the worst thing ever.
Can you stick to the syllabus here?
Yeah, the hardest part of growing up is, trying to make my parents forget about, maybe parent teacher conference, but she always forgets it. So that was really not a tough thing. Or, hiding my report card, but she always got it one way or the other. So it was quite sad. Yeah, I think that's the top priority. I think that was the hardest thing about, growing up.
Okay, this is an interesting question. What's one thing you wish I understood better about you?
I don't know. I don't talk a lot about these things. So I don't really know. One thing you wish, my reactions. You always call me overdramatic or like pathetic, immature, but you don't know what that's coming from. You don't know where that's coming from. So I think that's, I wish you understood why I'm feeling the way I am. As in, like, not like the situation, but like why I react to these things the way I do, not because of like this situation, but because of the past. if that makes sense. Yeah.
What past?
You do this on purpose? I don't know, just like I don't know, just situations that I've not dealt well, and there's not enough closure in my life.
What are those situations?
Let's not talk about this right now.
No, I'd also like to know.
Just situations.
With friends?
Yeah.
But it is like that with friends, and you grow out of it, darling. I mean, friendships are like that. When you're growing up, there are always going to be friends, and then you'll have fights and breakups, and they seem really important at that time. They help you evolve, understand yourself better, and human relationships and temperaments better. So, for me, I think my hardest challenge is to understand. I mean, if I were to answer this from your behalf, I would think that you would want me to understand your moods better. Because
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, you go.
Anyways, if there was something you wish we did more or less together.
Oh, so many things. I wish you'd just take me for the walks with the dogs. I wish you'd let me put you to bed every night. I wish you'd allow me in your room a lot more. Or you'd come and sit with me a lot more. We do things together. That's what I'd really want. Just to have your time. You know that, right?
Right?
Okay, same question back to you.
We did less or more together. I don't know. I wished we traveled less. I don't like traveling. And more of shopping.
Okay. Do you ever feel pressure to be a certain way around me?
That's a good question, actually. Pressured to be a certain way. Not pressured, just like, I don't know. No, I think I'm quite transparent. I don't really, no, I don't think so. I try to hide it from you. I mean, like, hide my emotions. But then it always comes out at the end. So I don't really think so, no. I don't, no? No, I don't. No,
You're
same.
quite transparent. But of course, you know best what you are feeling. But knowing you as my daughter, you're quite transparent. Your question?
What do you need most of me now as an adult?
Well, you're 2 years short of being an adult, but I think what I need most of you is your company. I think to be able to spend as much time with you, because I feel these are the real impressionable years, and these are the years that will set the foundation for your life and future. And I mean, I have 2 years about to be able to still have some stewardship on your life. After which it's you all along. I feel that if in a certain way I'm able to give you the self confidence and the tools to make decisions well thought out. I mean, you'll always going to make mistakes. We all do. But to be able to accept failure, to be able to believe in yourself and trust your intuition. I think if I'm able to inculcate that in you in a deeper level, I think that's what I really like. To be able to get more time with you, especially because your sister's not here. This is the first time in our lives that it's just you and me. So to make the most of that.
Can I turn?
My turn or your turn?
Your turn.
When do you feel most loved by me?
I think when I'm like crying over stupid reasons.
Which is quite often, isn't? I'm so
Okay,
happy
Mama,
that you feel so loved by me
let's
so often.
I mean, it's like, I don't know, just when it's like situations that I'm going through, which to you, no, I think any random person would be quite pointless to, cry to. Like the other day when I was with my friends and I called you crying, like those small, small stuff that you just end up crying because, yeah, you're insecure. Yeah, I think insecurity, I think everything just revolves around that at this point. So, when I'm crying over stupid insecure reasons, yeah, you give me a validation. My turn. How has your relationship with your own parents shaped the way you are?
I have an incredible relationship with my parents. You know that. I've had a perfect childhood, if there is any such thing. So everything that I know about a family or parenting or being a mother comes from my secure childhood. And yeah, they gave me the tools to be the parent I am, to be the friend that I am to my children, to be the guardian that I am, to be able to have difficult, meaningful, open, light-hearted, all kinds of conversations. That nothing is. That's what I learned, and that's I hope that has been my style of parenting. I do hope I don't know if I've been able to give you as much exposure as I received because I was growing up in a mix of royal upbringing and a very, very egalitarian upbringing, working class upbringing in Delhi. So between Wakaner and Delhi, I had a very, very mixed upbringing, which I have not been able to give you, because you've had a royal upbringing, you've had a privileged upbringing, but you've not really been thrown out at the deep end of where you've had to, wrestle your way into DTC bus, a public transport, or I mean, we've tried that. I mean, you've taken public transport, you've taken auto rickshaws and all of that. So, but it's not been to the level that I have, because I had an entire life of anonymity, totally middle class in Delhi, and then I was, of course, had this very privileged life in Wakaner. So that balance I have not been able to give you entirely, and a lot of travel that I got.
I don't like traveling.
Yeah, that is the only difference. But otherwise, I think both your father and I have been very hands on parents. Me more so, of course, but that was the same. Even Chitala, no, my dad was busy working. It was mainly my mother. So I think my entire, everything I know about parenting or raising a child is from my own growing up.
Okay, done.
My turn. What's something you love most about our relationship?
I don't know. I think, no, I don't really know. I'd say that as a family, I think know everything about each other, whether it's through like gossip from school or like, certain people we find cute or admire. So I think that way, I think that way we can like really talk about that. Like even it's just funny to, because if I say I like someone, you'll joke about how funny they look. So it's like at times you can also be immature, which is something you need. So I think that's something I like about that, because I think like sometimes you don't just want maturity and like an adult, sometimes you just want to like be immature and make jokes or just take everything lightly, and that's what you do sometimes.
Like
So,
be a friend, right?
yeah. Not even a friend. You're just like another person, Mom. It's just crazy. But yeah, I think that's something. Okay, me? Oh yeah, this is going to like really blow your head up. Have I ever surprised you in a good or bad way?
Absolutely, all the time, all the time. Your consideration, your compassion for the staff, it's incredible what you think of. It's incredible how soft hearted and considerate you towards the staff. So that always really swells my heart with pride. It makes me very, very happy to see that when we were doing the footwear drive, you don't hesitate to pick the footwear and put it in these dirty feet of those children. You are physically trying each footwear on that child to see if she gets the right size. So I love that there's no hesitation for you to connect with another individual of any strata. That's a huge quality, and no amount of teaching can bring that on. It's within you. So that for me is something that really stands, because for me that character is incredibly important. How compassionate you are, what your integrity is, your kindness. You have that. What I don't like about you is hopefully a transitory thing, which is about your insecurity, your eating habits. That is one worry. That is the only worry I have for you, and I hope it passes through fast. My turn.
Yeah.
What one moment about your childhood that really stuck with you?
I'm still in my childhood.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's just these small moments of like us dancing for our family, me and my sister. I think that was the core of childhood. I think that was quite funny. What I'm lucky is that my entire childhood have had dogs. I think not a lot of people have experienced that, and they really should. I think it's really, underappreciated.
Yes, just for the record, Naraini has told me once, because she would continuously be hugging the dogs and not her mother enough. And I think as a 5-year-old, I asked her, Naraini, why are all your hugs reserved for the dogs? Why not for mama? And she said to me, Mama, everyone has a mama, but not everyone has a dog. So clearly showed me my position in the house, but
Yeah, I think, yeah. I don't think there are any core memories. I think my whole childhood has been like legendary. I feel like it's like a perfect childhood. It's very like rich in the terms of love, closeness. I mean, it's like you come from this like royal family, so everybody expects you to be like formal, like even with your closed ones. But with the way I am with my grandparents, like, it's so, I just love it. I mean, I think the core memory is just, dancing around with them, whether it's putting makeup on our grandfather and giving him hairstyles while he has only like 2 twigs of hair left on his head, or it's, dancing or putting really bad makeup on our grandmother, or, just squeezing the dogs and getting bitten like a dozen times every year.
True story.
Yeah. So I think that's quite fun. And I mean, I grew up with a sister as well, so it's never been lonely as well. Yes, that's it. It's nothing specific, because every day was like something I enjoyed. So there's nothing really to it.
Your question?
Okay. What was an important life lesson you learned, Mai?
Your age. Yeah, I think it was exactly what you're struggling with, about not putting all my energy and self image on friendships. I think this was exactly the time when I had also a transition in my friend circle, because your grandfather was transferred from Delhi to Bhopal, and I had to leave my friends in Delhi and move. And I was very angry about that. I was, very upset with my father because of the transfer. I didn't want to leave my school and friends. And then when I went to Mayo from there was a time where I was very close. I made amazing friends in Bhopal. And there was a time when those friendships kind of, when I went to Mayo, when I went to boarding school and I came back one holiday, I was most excited to be back in Bhopal. And the dynamics had changed. It was like I had been replaced, or I was never there. And that really hit hard. And it was a very painful realization for me that I was replaceable in a friendship. So I think I struggled with the exact same thing as you. I just realized that there will be some relationships will end and new ones will come, and as you evolve as as an individual, some will seem more authentic than others, and that's fine. Yeah, I think that was something that I learned at your age. Okay, my turn. What's one thing I've done as a mom that made a positive impact on you?
I don't know, made a positive impact. I mean, parenting only does that, right?
You think so? Please, one day you will realize.
What is a positive impact? Parenting. I think I'm very responsible with money. I think I'm I'm really responsible with money. I think you would agree that with that too, right?
Yes, Narayani, to put it mildly, avoiding using the word stingy.
I'm not stingy. I don't know what that is. You've taught me to appreciate things. So, I mean, yeah, I do appreciate stuff a lot. Like, that I am fortunate for what I've got, and ensure that we appreciate it. So, I think that's a very good thing.
Gratitude.
Gratitude, because then it's like sometimes you'll think, like, oh, it's like not enough. But then you realize that you have so much. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are on the last question. I mean, there's just one last from my side. Do you have any?
I have one.
Go ahead.
You want me to ask?
Huh? I think I asked you the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
one.
What's something you admire about the person I've become?
I think your self-confidence and your ability to interact with everyone, and you're responsible. You're a responsible individual.
Am I?
Surprisingly.
How would you say that?
Your dogs, it's a big thing, when I watch you with your dogs, I know that you're someone who's responsible. You take care of individuals, that you will ensure that the dogs are walked, you will ensure that that they have eaten, that they are feeling loved and secure, and where they sleep is important to you, and it comes from a place of, again, compassion, but it's a value, right? How you treat another life is a very, very important value, and I see that in you. You take care of the relationships in your life. You're a very good communicator. You are able to very easily put your point across, and you are reasonable. You are open to suggestions. You're open to admitting your mistakes.
You say that now, but then all you do is call me unreasonable.
Well,
What is logic?
time to time. I can't say you're reasonable all the time. No? You're 16 years old. So by and large, you're reasonable. For your age, you are.
Okay, good to know.
My turn.
Yeah.
What's something you've taught me, even if you didn't realize it?
What's something you've taught me? What you have taught me?
You've taught me.
Oh, I've taught you lots of things actually.
I thought so.
I don't know.
I'd like to know what they are.
Do you know what they are?
No, none.
Then how would I know? What is this logic? This is not fair. What have I taught you? I think I've taught you compassion. I have taught you.
Yeah, I try and stay compassionate, not lose my cool on you. Yes, absolutely.
I have taught you that grades do not define who you are.
We come back to that. Awaiting 10th board results.
What have I taught you? What have I taught you? I have taught you the latest generation is not the same.
Very clearly, you have taught me that. True.
Okay, yeah, that's being sarcastic. Yeah, I think I've taught you about the evolving world and the latest styles, clothing styles, even though you do not listen to me. I think, I don't know what I've taught you. What have I taught you?
I'll tell you what you've taught me, and
I've
it
taught you
sounds a little
modern.
philosophical. But I think what both you and your sister have taught me is that I can't control your destiny. That I can bring you into the world and I can try and mold you and hold you as close as I can. But you've all come with your own minds and destinies, and you're going to have your own heartbreaks and uncertainties in life. And I just have to watch you lead your own life, and that's hard as a parent. So I think having you is very, very important and integral in my evolution as an individual.
I think I've also told you to crack your ankles.
You taught me to crack my ankles. Yeah. But you've not been able to teach me to wink with both my eyes. See? You've been doing that since you were a baby. It's not a good sign. I think we are done.
You know, ever since I was 5 years old, she's been calling me a chudail because I can do this. Can you believe it? That's what she's been doing. So it's not sweetheart, my love, it is chudail. Okay? This is the difference.